this is the same with even like movie theaters now. You have to pick your seats, right? Let's say it's...
I still find that weird. This is not a Broadway production. I mean, I am going to see freaking Moana 2. I could sit anywhere I damn well want.
Okay, let's say it's Star Trek. You've been waiting.
Center seats, middle aisle. Yeah.
It's the Scott and Alley Not For Air podcast. The rules are gone. The shirt is untucked. Here's Scott and Alley.
Hey, do you want to delete it again like last week?
Yeah, I sure do want to delete it again like last week. What I'd do with a day without you busting my shit. I swear to God. So, welcome to the Scott and Alley Not For Air podcast. I'm Scott and she's an asshole.
I really got a kick out of that.
I'm really glad you did. Still feel like an ass about that. So last week, for those that don't know what just happened as we started rolling into the podcast, we get done with the first draft of the podcast, and what does Scott do? I went and deleted the audio file, so we had to redo it, which I actually think the second time around was probably a better product anyway. But,
I think so.
Wow.
Mediocre at best.
Yeah, well, as always.
Yes.
So I have two really great questions that have been,
wiggling around up there.
They came to me, and I'm like, I want to get into this. So I've got one that's sort of spicy personal, and one I have to ask what you think about something dealing with, I think we can say Super Bowl here because we're talking in general about the game that's going to be coming up.
Yes, and we're not profiting off of it. That's the rule.
Honey, we haven't profited off this podcast in about 12 months.
I know, that's so true.
What's the difference?
I know. I don't know why.
But that's here nor there. Do you want to start a little spicy personal and then go from there? Or do you want to kind of go with my funny observation?
Yeah, I feel like the spiciness matches my spicy leopard shirt.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right. So when a woman, this is the way it goes in my mind. And maybe I'm right. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you're going to say, hey, Scott, you know what? You're a thinking man. You're looking out for the right things. So if you have to go to the OBGYN on, let's say it's Monday, you have to go on Tuesday. Okay. The appointment's made. You're ready to pull into the Obgyn on Tuesday. But there it is. Does that mean Monday night the Lovins are completely off limit? There'll be no touching on Monday night leading into the Tuesday morning appointment. Nothing. We are not getting busy.
No, definitely not. Okay. Definitely not. And
now, is it good that I, as a guy, thought ahead like that? Because you usually are going to share with your significant other, oh, I got my lady doctor appointment tomorrow.
Yeah, because
it sounds just like that. Oh, I got my lady doctor appointment.
I know that you know how this works as the doctor, but I don't need you to see any deposits.
Well, that's what I was wondering. That's really my main thing. Like, it's not something like, you don't want to set the doctor up for a conversation to be like, what the hell did you do last night?
I do wonder though, do they know? Like, do they see anything, or is there like, as if someone pulled into a driveway after a snowstorm, you saw the tire tracks. Like,
I don't know that there's any better way to describe that.
Or is there any kind of like
new meaning to the joke? Plow it out.
Is there any wear and tear on the vehicle?
Stop with the term wear and tear.
Yeah, no, I'm serious.
I don't even have a vagina. That hurt mine.
Is there any wear and tear where there might be, I don't know, just like rawness or soreness or redness or something?
All the wrong adjectives.
Right, and they're like, were you horseback riding yesterday?
Yep, sure was.
In January or what?
Well, but seriously, like, I as a guy, and I don't know where I picked it up from, I just automatically know. I'm not even going to try to take you to the dance on that, the eve of, And
also, I think you had said Monday night and then your appointment's on Tuesday. I also think another good thing is always do appointments on Friday, because Friday's not a great day.
I disagree with that. And
well,
here's
hold
why.
on.
Well, okay.
So I was thinking...
I disagree with you making your OBGYN appointment on a Friday.
But then whatever happens, because I always feel so disgusting afterwards.
Yes.
If I need to go home, then I can just work the rest of the day from home, meaning I am going to take a shower head and do a car wash And then I'm going to sit at home in my pajamas because it's gross.
But then that cancels out Friday night fun because, I mean, obviously
it kind of does. You're right.
They're rattling things. I would say your best days, if we're now talking days for the OBGYN.
I like the days thing.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, because on Friday you have the chance to finish, getting things back to the way they should be so that potentially going into the weekend, I mean, I'm not saying people don't do it on other days of the week, but, if it's a Monday morning, well, that excludes Sunday night fun. And let's face it, if your favorite team wins, sometimes you want to celebrate.
Oh, okay. I think Wednesdays are good. And I think that you're right on the Friday fun. But also with Wednesdays, if I'm going to do it on Wednesday, then I'm going to do it Wednesday. I should do it at the end of a work day. So I can just, if I need to, again, go home, then I can do that.
And that would be 2 showers a day because I'm sure you're making sure everything's ready to go before. I don't know. Do you really want to go late day? Let's say you woke up in the morning and you got yourself all together and properly
shaven.
Groomed, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And then you have to work, let's say, in a 7 of an 8 hour day.
Am I digging ditches?
And then... Well, I don't know what you do.
Well,
I'm just,
if I was working outside, then, I'm planning it in the morning, which sucks, but I'm planning it in the morning.
But even sitting at an office and getting, the...
Oh, my God.
The sweat of the chair.
Do you know how many men I have dated who have said this exact same thing? Like, I am not sweating profusely from my crotch when I'm sitting in this office chair all day.
There is a bit of a furnace factor, I mean, there is.
There really isn't. No, nothing is producing. There really is not. It's not. I'm sitting in either a very air conditioned control room, or
with your legs wide apart.
That's right. The only difference is sometimes I walk on my walking pad during work. That I do work up a sweat.
Yeah,
I absolutely would have to go home and freshen up.
Okay.
But if I'm sitting here all day, it's not like I was out in 98 degree sun gardening.
Well, I mean, what if your doctor's appointment's in July?
If I'm in the office, no.
Okay.
It's not Sog City.
Soppy
Town.
So where we've started was obviously I should know as a guy, if you have the appointment the next day, I should not even attempt to make a entrance to the party.
Right.
And I know you'd shut it down anyway because the party's going on. But I feel like as a guy, that is showing the respect for what you're about to go through. But also, it almost is. It's a 2-day adventure. You know what? We're not doing it the day before.
Yes.
And we're not doing it the night of that you got home because let's face it, things got rattled around. You got to wait for it to kind of all settle, don't you?
Yes,
Okay.
Definitely. Well, I have another question about the spicy department because we've been watching this show called Lioness, and this actually I can use this for Landman too. So porn is porn. But if you and your girlfriend, 6059 is what we like to call her, if you and 6059 are watching a show and there is a sexier scene, it doesn't have to be, it's not like full out porn, but like when Billy Bob Thornton, is that his name?
Yeah, well, from Landman.
Yeah, Billy Bob Thornton and his wife were getting sexy. Does that put you in the mood?
No, those two don't. First of all, Billy Bob Thornton's wife in that reminds me of someone from my past.
Really?
Yeah, you don't pick up a little bit of something from. Yeah, you got it. She got it. Without mentioning any names.
This is so funny because in the show, we've talked so much about this show. In the show, she is yelling at Billy Bob Thornton, like yelling. And I said to Zach, if I spoke that way to you, that would go over like a lead balloon. He goes, that's right.
But it's not just yelling. A lot of it
she's
is
always yelling.
Well, she is, but she's a lot. I remember I told you, do you remember? And I hope you remember this. I told you, I said in the show, as you were getting ready to start watching it, I said, listen for Billy Bob's cell phone ring to happen anytime she would call. Do you remember back Again, not mentioning any names.
Right.
I had a specific ring for a certain past of mine. It was the very staggering start of the Doctor Who theme. Hang on.
I did not remember you having a
I hope this
ring.
comes through. Hang on a second here. Let me see if I can find it.
You know what? It's so weird because that character is so redeeming because she's always yelling, but man, she has the best heart.
Well, that's
When
what I was
she-
going to say. She's a lot, but she's a lot, but she doesn't mean bad. Allie, I don't know if this is going to come through or not, but I'm going to give it a shot here and see if this comes through so you can. Oh, hang on a second. I don't even know. I don't. What is happening here? I'm waiting for a commercial to finish.
Oh, okay.
Here.
Oh, yes. That was fair. Did you have that for your ex?
Yeah, well, that was, yes. So
I don't remember
if
that.
anyone goes and finds the Doctor Who theme, it used to be my ringtone. Anytime she would call, it would start out with this.
Wait, was that the
It really
ringtone?
struck me. I think that's what got me with his phone ring. I'm like, that's really funny.
Was the ringtone that you had, was that before you got, like when you guys were together, or was it after you broke up?
Oh no, we were together, and you and I we'd be in a promotions meeting here, and all of a sudden you'd hear, and it was a thing.
I remember your phone going off all the time, but I don't remember that specific sound. I wonder now. I never ever want to hear ringtones, but I wonder what Zach would pick for me. I need to ask him tonight because I know it's weird. I know I get on his nerves so bad, but I also know he is like deeply in love with me too.
Oh,
So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what if he would pick something loving or something very obnoxious.
knowing him, for you, he would
Obnoxious.
definitely go obnoxious. There's no getting around it.
Yes.
Here,
yes.
maybe I
But
have.
back to the. Oh, go ahead.
I might have for you. Let me turn it up. We'd be sitting in a promotions meeting, and all of a sudden you'd hear. But it starts with this big scream. I don't know if I can get it here. Hang on. Do you remember this?
No, I wish I did, but
Here
I
it
don't.
goes. Here it is.
Yes.
It was a screamer.
I can't believe that doesn't turn you on though.
No. But by the way, that's right. You did ask that question. Do
Yeah.
those scenes ever do it?
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you something.
'Cause they
And this
can.
might surprise you.
They get spicy. Yeah,
It
what?
does. It got very spicy in that show. It got very spicy with more than one person. Also got spicy with his daughter and her boyfriend
yeah.
towards the end of the season. I mean, a lot of, spice.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, 6059, and I can't 100% guarantee this is true because I haven't been with her whole life, has never watched porn.
Oh wow.
So that being said,
what?
it might seem a little weird if that moment got it going.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's just not her thing.
Yeah, but
She'd
so,
rather live it.
so she's not so much of a visual person then.
I guess not. I guess, yeah.
Because even if I'm watching Lioness and it was two females, both scenes, I'm like, oh, this is, hey, Zachary. Yeah.
I mean, I can't say that there isn't, some attractive scenes, whatever the show is.
I know, but you're already saying like, no, the episode's over, and you're not like, let's go upstairs.
I'm afraid I'd be called out for, that scene really did it for you, didn't you? And
Yeah.
then, I don't know.
I feel like it hasn't happened in a long time. It used to happen for sure when I watched a show back in the day called what was the vampire show? True Blood.
Oh,
Used to happen with
that
that.
was pretty cutting edge with the spicy.
Yeah. And then now these couple shows that we've watched, I was like, man, this is it's not pornographic, but it just the way it plays out, I'm like, oh, I enjoy this.
I still love the fact that you put together Billy Bob's wife after I said it and one from my past, and it hit you the way that it did, because it just is, to me, I'm sitting there watching going, oh my God, I think I lived part of this life. Not exactly, but close.
And the weird thing is, like, because we all like get introspective about that. I think that I'm a lot, but then I look compared to the two people that said people, and I'm like, oh, nothing. I'm nothing compared to Billy Bob Thornton's ex-wife in that show.
No.
Or the person you're thinking about. I'm like, no.
Although, like I said, she meant well, so it was what it was.
Yes.
Now, I got to go on to my other question because we are now going to be approaching the Super Bowl. There's no getting around it. The problem with this podcast is we are recording this before the Bills-Chiefs game. Yeah. So, and again, I'm being very open and honest with that. So I don't know if by next week my mood is going to be much different, but this question makes no difference. Okay. This is a question about things I've observed from the Super Bowl. And I just thought to myself, I'm like, okay, so the Super Bowl is hyper expensive to go to. You and I likely will never make it to a Super Bowl in our lifetime, primarily because I'm not about to spend $30,000 a ticket for a crap ticket, okay? Now, do I think someone's going to gift us tickets? Probably not either. So, all right, I'm fine watching it on TV, even if the Bills are going, which is my team. Whatever. It'll be just as exciting whether I'm there or not for me. But what happens at all the Super Bowls is you see the very famous and the very rich that are there. And I'm going to randomly pick a name, and it has nothing to do with the individual. I'm just mentally imaging this. Let's say the camera goes on before the game starts. You know how the seats are starting to fill up, and they'll cut over to the seats for a minute, and there is Bradley Cooper, and he's sitting there.
Yes.
Okay, now Bradley Cooper's sitting there before the game, and you'll hear the announcers. They'll be like, "Oh, and it looks like the famous have started to arrive here in New Orleans." Bradley Cooper sitting there. And he's like sitting in the stand reading a newspaper, and he's looking all chill. He's like, "Yeah, okay, And so, and this is like, they're just. I get they're normal people or try to be at certain times, but I do also believe a lot of the rich and famous go to the Super Bowl to be noticed. It is the event of the year, and by far, it is bigger than any event of the year. So if you get noticed at the Super Bowl, like if the Chiefs go, we know Taylor is going to get shown multiple times. Yeah. She's actually one of the few superstars that shows her excitement. She'll be up in a booth, woo! Jason Kelce will have his shirt off with his man nipples hanging down, and she'll be like, like woo, 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 whatever. But so she's right. She's actually, she looks like she'd be a blast at the game, right? Yeah. Like she shows it. But then you get these stars like, oh God, what's his face?
Matthew Broderick.
Oh, God, I said stars.
I know, but he's always somebody that's like, or like Jay-Z. You never even see Jay-Z clap.
Well, Jay-Z, I don't think cracks a smile more than once every 10 years. Like it's in his contract. It's the 51st Thursday of your contract. It's Smile Day.
Even Beyonce, she'll just go.
Yeah, but all right, take Jack Nicholson. He'll be like sitting there and he'll be like, but he's super chill. And then, so do these people ever get like your average fan? Like for me, I feel you have to, you should sign a contract if you get tickets for the game. You got to show the energy. Like if you and I went to the game, I'm not going to be sitting there reading a newspaper when they put the camera on me going, oh, how's my Bitcoin doing? No, I'm going to be like, whoa,
they're not fans. And that's what makes me so mad. Somebody else is so much more deserving to be there. And I don't think that they should be there because, you're right. You're just there to get...
You're there to get noticed and to be like, oh, did you see so-and-so was there? You got other places to be. Go to the Academy Awards. I'm never going to that by choice or by invite.
Right. I do know, for instance, I listen to this one podcast and the host is a big baseball fan. So Super Bowl, World Series, we can use both of these things. And so I know this one podcaster, he might be, I'm assuming, if the camera was on him, his name's Jason Bateman, by the way. So if Jason Bateman is watching the game, I think he always talks about how he's such a fan. I think he's a Cubs fan, though.
Okay.
That doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He's such a fan. I think he's one of those that's like, constantly like nail biting and watching and like rocking and so intense.
He's into it.
Yes,
He's there for the game.
Right. And I'm fine with that too. But I'm not okay with the Jack Nicklaus or the Beyoncés who are just like, They're not even eating a hot dog. You're not even enjoying a nacho.
Jesus, how much would that cost at that game? Oh my God.
Way too much. Way too much. Yeah, I don't think that they should be allowed. I think, I don't know. Is there some test we take to make sure that I'm a fan?
I don't know. It's just, I mean,
Can
look,
you name 6 players?
they've got them.
It's like the whole thing when you see people wearing band shirts. I'm sure you've seen this on Reels and TikTok. And then somebody will come up to them and be like, okay, they're wearing a Notorious B.I.G. shirt. Okay, name 3 Notorious B.I.G. songs. And they're usually like,
not a clue.
Can't.
Yeah.
I think it's the same with band shirts and baseball and football games. You should be a fan.
Especially something that big is... I want to see, that seat is gold. And if you're just there to be like, well, I'm here to be noticed. Really?
I know. How do we vet that out?
I don't know.
That's
because they got all the money in the world. They can do it.
Right. I was thinking it's like the driver's test, or it's like Family Feud.
The driver's test.
Or you can do like the Celebrity Family Feud. And if you win, then you get to go.
Yes.
Something like that. Yeah, you're right.
Because they never, what's interesting is, and again, I only use the name. I know nothing about Bradley Cooper personally, whether he gets into a game or not. They always show it as the stands are beginning to get people in it. Like they're getting ready to go to a commercial break, and boom, there it is. And he's like, oh, Bradley Cooper is here. Or Lady Gaga's up there, whatever the case may be. And but you never go back to them during the game. Why? Bet you because it's boring.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Did I tell you my cousin went to the Rose Bowl not that long ago?
No.
Yeah, she said the tickets weren't that expensive. I think she paid like 200 some. Now, they weren't great seats, but she was already going out there to see LeBron. It was her and her 2 sons I think they're both in college now. Anyway, and now all of a sudden my cousin seems like she's making a pretty decent living. So, because she always is going to these really cool experience things. She was going out there to see LeBron. Her son texts her and says...
Was LeBron going to the Rose Bowl to just spectate?
She was going to see... who's he play for?
L.A.
L.A., yeah. So she was going there to watch a game with LeBron.
Oh, okay.
Because LeBron used to be in Cleveland, they've just been LeBron fans for a long time. And so her son texted her and said, Mom, the Rose Bowl is happening the same time that we're going to see.
So they did it as an add-on.
Yes,
I see what you're saying.
But it wasn't. She said it was so much fun, but she said the big expense is the parking. Because in LA, they really don't have good public transportation that you have to drive. And she said that was the only downfall for her was that.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I see what you're saying there.
I think that would be cool even to go to the Rose Bowl.
Sure.
And sit in the nosebleeds.
The other problem I have too is if I went to the Super Bowl, and this is going to sound really like I am entitled, but I don't want to sit on if we won tickets from somewhere, we would be in the upper deck, 3 rows from the very top. It would look like ants running around on the field. I think the energy would be cool, but in reality, I either want to be in a box or I want to sit pretty good seats. Like I've gone to a number of Bills games, and I can't wait for the new stadium to open. Although I have a feeling those tickets are going to be ridiculous because it's less people that are going to be able to go to games. It's fewer seats in the new stadium.
And after these past couple seasons,
exactly. I've gone to Bills games and I've always had good seats because I had a good hookup with tickets, and I got very lucky. This had nothing to do with the fact that I got real lucky and I got blessed with that. Excuse me, but I also got very spoiled. And I mean, I don't want to sound quite like some of these famous people that when they go to basketball games, they have to sit courtside or 3 rows up. I never even got that good at a football game, but I mean, they were good seats. And I'm afraid would it be shitty if I was like, holy crap, we got Super Bowl tickets, but we're 3 rows from the top? And I'm like, no. No,
I don't think I would take them either because I still like the camaraderie of the living room party and the food where everybody makes food. For me, it's just how I want to experience it, and I wouldn't want to experience it in nosebleeds. There's not much. You're right. We're spoiled. There's not much that I would pick nosebleeds for. So just recently, I bought 2 sets of tickets. I bought a set of tickets for me and my dad and my uncle to go see this one artist. And the only thing I said was I don't want to sit in lawn because I don't want to sit in lawn with my dad. my dad's older and I know he wouldn't enjoy it. I want my dad, this is for it's for me too, but I want to enjoy the experience with my dad. So I got us pretty decent seats.
Yeah.
Then I got Nate Bargatze tickets and their nosebleeds. I was kind of like, now I don't care if we go because that was the only thing that was available.
Yeah.
But then my dad was like, no, I want to go. I'll go to nosebleeds. I'm thinking, okay, Mark.
He's going for the experience. I'll give him that.
He is. But
it would be hard for me to say no to the experience of the Super Bowl. But you also know me well enough to know I'd probably be like, geez, we're 3 rows from the very top.
I think everybody has their things, whatever it is. Some people will take the experience no matter how you slice it and dice it. This is the same with even like movie theaters now. You have to pick your seats, right? Let's say
I still find that weird. This is not a Broadway production. I mean, I am going to see freaking Moana 2. I could sit anywhere I damn well want.
Okay, let's say it's Star Trek. You've been waiting.
Center seats, middle aisle. Yeah, period. I want the full experience.
So let's say it is like every show is sold out in the first 2 weeks. And the only one that's left is the very front row.
No, I'm not doing it.
Exactly.
It'll kill me because I'd want to see the movie, but no.
And that's where I think I gave you a relatable instance that everyone can understand because we can't necessarily relate on the concert thing because we get very spoiled.
We do, and I don't want to sound entitled in any way, shape, or form. I mean, I'm sure there are people, depending on what they do, get certain perks for, for what they do or get lucky enough to get in that. We are very blessed. Do you know, I'm going to tell you something. I don't enjoy concerts unless I'm either backstage or somewhere off to the side. No, I'm serious. Okay, so that's
because you don't know what to do with your hands with the dancing and all that.
You're damn right on that, and I'm afraid everyone's looking at me and going to laugh at me. But
what? For you that you're watching the show?
I honestly actually enjoy the experience of the back, behind everything. I like watching everything that happens back there to put it on. I really am a big fan. Like, there are so few shows that I really want to be in the audience to watch that. Like, I don't give two craps. Flo Rida came here over the fall of last year. He wrapped up a big concert season here. It was a lot of fun, the show. We were either backstage or we were in a special kind of VIP side stage, which, by the way, were not the best seats for the show. I want to point that out. That side stage was cool because we were a little elevated, but we had a lot of like scaffolding and things to look through. Yeah. It was a little, I mean, if I was going just to watch whatever show, I mean, it happened to be Flo in this case, it would not be where I wanted to be to watch the show. But for us, having been backstage, now we never got to meet Flo. He was they kind of ushered him around to do his own thing. But being backstage, I loved watching the production shift around and things happen and the energy of what it looked like as they were getting ready to go out or as things were being produced. I thought that was so cool.
I'm the opposite. I want to be in the crowd. I want to be dancing. I want to be part of the energy. And if you notice, I left that side stage a couple times and tried to find friends in the crowd, but it was so crazy packed.
Yeah.
I couldn't find our friends. So then I kept coming back. And then it's the other thing, like the show I'm going to with my dad, if I wasn't going with my dad, I would 1000% get pit or somewhere where I can dance.
Okay.
Because
your lawn seat might have been great.
Right, exactly. And that could have been an option. But any show that I go to, there's usually a lot of dancing. I want to be scream singing every single song, and I want to I want to be silly with a complete stranger. I want to dance with a complete and total stranger next to me.
Let's do our best this year, okay? Because you and I will be together, and hopefully you'll be able to make it to the party before the game. I know you're already booking your Super Bowl Sunday. You're going shopping in the morning.
There's a really good deal. They have a big sale.
Yeah, don't forget to get up early and get it on. But we'll have multiple TVs on around the house for the Super Bowl party. We'll have multiple TVs on. We've got to watch. I guarantee you, and everyone else can do the same on this, they will show the celebrities coming in, the big people, and let's look for if they're doing something to make it appear that it's just, I'm just here. It's another day. I'm just, and then Also, let's see if the camera gets back to them at all during the game, and whether or not they're. I almost think that they're not gonna. Like, they're gonna show somebody they're sitting there looking at their phone. They're not doing anything. They're, I don't know. They're counting their knuckle hair.
But wait a second. I'm gonna give you another comparison. Not that we're celebrities at all. But I feel this way when I'm doing average things that I think people expect me to be extremely smiley and excited to be doing that not the average person is doing. I'm going to give you 2 examples. So when I'm at the gym, people will smile and I'll smile back, but sometimes they don't smile, but they're looking over at me. Like these 2 guys that were working out next to me kept looking over. I had never seen them there at the same time as me. I'm sure they go there often, but I kept thinking like, I really don't want to smile. I'm not here for smiling. I'm here for pain.
Well, that's the gym.
But this is what I'm saying. Like I guess we are expecting something out of these celebrities. And here's another one: grocery shopping. Do you ever get this way? Grocery shopping.
Well, Wegmans is the Super Bowl of grocery stores.
I know, but don't you feel like sometimes like people are expecting you, Scott, to always be smiling and like. I'm sure you're always cracking jokes, but I think sometimes people are expecting you to act a certain way in certain places. And sometimes I'm like, no, I'm at the grocery store. Like, I'm not going to do that.
No, you're right. I mean, I think there is some of that, but then I have to take us back to you're at the biggest event of the year.
True.
And it's different from me going to Wegmans because it's a day that ends in Y, right. And I'm always there.
Because I need bread.
Yeah. That's, to me, this is the biggest thing there is. And it's just, look, they may be fans and but I just think to myself, I'm like, are you there because you want to get noticed on camera? You want that split second of camera time to be like, oh, look, so-and-so is there. Or are you really there to have a good time? Mm-hmm. And maybe I'm just being super judgy of people that have very high-profile careers or lots and lots of money from that high-profile career. Maybe that's part of it, but it just feels weird to me. It's like, oh, they're there looking at their phone. I'm not saying I'm not going to look at my phone.
Right.
I'm nobody. Okay. I am nobody, but I'm going to go crazy when that touchdown hits.
But now that goes back to, then let's do the test, like the t-shirt test, but we'll do the football test. Because right now, if somebody said, Allie, the Bills are going to the Super Bowl and here's a pair of tickets. You have to name 3 players to have these tickets. And I would go, Josh Allen.
Well, of course, number 1.
That's all I got.
You can go Cook.
I don't know who that is.
Don't worry about it. Just say Cook. Because if you get these tickets, I'm going with you.
I'm not. Okay. Okay.
I got a plan. Yes, exactly. See, now you got 2. There you go. All right, let's bolt for right now. And there's a lot to do, but that is a mission we're going to have. We will have one more podcast before the big game, so we can do a quick reminder to say, let's see how many times the camera goes on the super rich and wealthy, and they're just sitting there all nonchalant like it's, I guess I have to be here.
Yes. And we'll also follow up on Scott's OBGYN appointment.
I expect good results.
Well, that was fun. Wasn't that fun? That was fun. Do us a favor, will you? Subscribe. Share the Scott and Allie Not For Air podcast. Touch our buttons. We know you want to.